A very good afternoon. It is exactly 1 p.m. here in Kenya's capital, Nairobi, and you are just in time for The Ambassador, where we debunk global diplomacy and geopolitics. To our first story, the M23 rebel group has stated on its determination to fight and revive Congo's economy. The anti-President Felix Tshisekedi administration group is training thousands of local administrators to take control of civil service. The group, which has maintained its spirited fight against the current regime, is tearing the country's leadership apart. And according to them, they are in to defend their minerals. And here is the full report by Davis Karani.
To take control of the eastern part of one of the Africa's most populous nation, but the long-term success of their uprising depends on reviving the economy in seized areas.
You cannot destroy what's not there. There is no life for Congolese. There is no life. As if I can compare Congo with other countries. There is no life. There is no economy. There is no salary. There is no security. There is no administration. There is no justice. So how can we think that we are destroying? There is nothing to destroy here.
The insurgents are now imposing new taxes on residents to finance their revolution, duties as high as 20% on small-time traders.
We have serious problems with the taxes. Customers no longer come, but at the end of each month, we are still asked to pay the tax. It is becoming very difficult for us to find the money to pay this tax.
In the town of Rubaya, the M23 has moved quickly to tighten its grip on a slice of Congo's vast mineral wealth. Mines here produce 1/6 of the world's supply of coltan, a metallic ore used in smartphones. The M23 now charges a 15% tax on the value of the coltan product, according to the rebel officials. That could mean up to 450,000 pounds in monthly tax income for them, according to an estimate by the government expert.
The impact of Laurent Nkunda and his forces has been quite devastating for the civilian population here. They've been forced to run, to leave their homes. They've been separated as families, and they've gone into displacement camps.
The M23 is keen to demonstrate their life in rebel-held areas in returning to normal. The group has nominated governors and is training thousands of local administrators to take control of the civil services. Davis Karani for GBS DRC Congo.
We'll keep him updated on that story as it develops now. Multiple explosions and fires were seen and heard in Sudan's capital, Port Sudan, early on Tuesday. A fuel depot has since been hit, as well as the airport and a hotel in the center of the city. No casualties has been reported so far. Port Sudan is a major hub for the Sudanese military, which has been in conflict with the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces for more than 2 years. The coastal city has been one of the few places in Sudan to avoid bombardment. That is until Sunday, when the RSF targeted for the first time. Now we turn the focus in the Middle East as Israel's cabinet approves a controversial plan to assume full control of Gaza with no clear end in sight. The move includes relocating hundreds of thousands of Palestinians to the south and intensifying military action against Hamas. The decision has sparked global concern and fueled protests at home, as families of hostages voice growing fears for the safety of their loved ones.
The Israeli cabinet has approved a plan to capture the entire Gaza Strip and maintain control for an unspecified period, which will likely result in the forcible displacement of hundreds of thousands of Palestinians to the southern region of Gaza. The operation's primary objective, according to Israeli military spokesperson, are to return hostages held by Hamas and dismantle the Hamas regime.
The objective of the operation is to return our hostages, topple and subdue the Hamas regime. These two goals are intertwined. The operation will include a broad offensive that includes moving a majority of Gaza's population to protect it in a sterile area from Hamas, continued airstrikes, the elimination of terrorists, and the dismantling of infrastructure. We will repeat the model carried out in Rafah, and other areas of the Gaza Strip.
This decision comes amid the call-up of tens of thousands of Israeli reserve soldiers and is expected to begin after U.S. President Donald Trump's upcoming visit to the Middle East. The approval of this plan has sparked widespread condemnation, especially from the United Nations and the families of Israeli hostages still held in Gaza, who fear the operation could jeopardize their loved ones' safety.
Going back to war is not what we wanted to hear. We have seen that hostages die during warfare.
Protests erupted outside the Israeli parliament, with demonstrators calling for a resolution to release the hostages. Since Israel resumed its offensive against Hamas in March, more than 90% of Gaza's population has been displaced, with over 52,000 Palestinians, mostly women and children, have been killed. GBS News.
King Charles III and Queen Camilla, together with the Prince and Princess of Wales, yesterday joined the National Day commemoration for victory in Europe, marking 80 years since the end of the Second World War in Europe. The event, marked at the Buckingham Palace, brought together the United Kingdom as they remembered and honored the Second World War veterans. Here's more on that story.
The 80th victory in Europe, popularly known as the VE commemorations, was yesterday marked in style in the United Kingdom. King Charles III and Queen Camilla, together with the other royal family members, including Prince William and Princess Kate, alongside their 3 children, George, Charlotte, and Louis, graced the national event at the palace. From heartfelt conversations with the veterans, spectacular military parade, fly past over Buckingham Palace, UK came together to ensure that the stories and legacy of the Second World War veterans will never be forgotten. King hosts a tea party. VE Day is marked in the United Kingdom to honor the men and women who served in the European Armed Forces during the Second World War. Victor Udung, the ambassador.
Thank you, Victor, for that story. Now, the ambassador will take a short break. We'll be right back with even more.
Are you all happy to see me? Yes, I'm also very happy to see you. We're going to make, ta-da, a banana milk package. Now we're done with the banana milk package.
And for the topic of the day, self-awareness and sisterhood. Self-awareness and sisterhood.
People know they're self-aware, but if you don't know how to act on it, then you're not really as self-aware as you think.
I usually say, garbage in, garbage out, and whatever, you cannot give what you don't have. So impact yourself first and work on yourself. If you feel like they're draining you, well and good.
By the way, kuna kijana, unajua Ian amekuwa akinichanganya nini, and I really want us to be together. Unaambia Ian, acha nikwambie, ufanye hivi na hivi na hivi. Alafu tunakuja friend dinner or something, na kuna una turn up na Ian, are you mad?
You know, as adulting is adulting, right now is the real intentionality that comes in. But if you are self-aware as a person, you get to now be intentional with ask. Kama mmekuwa distant, you can reach out.
Today's game is sing the artist song, right? Sing the artist song.
Nyashinski!
Aya basi.
Uko sawa wote malaika mabawa ya wote wanakita wendo mama ya.
My name is Tracy Otonde. I'm Miss County Nairobi, and I'm also Miss Embakasi East. Modeling is an art by virtue of the model and by virtue of the designers. That's if we look at modeling in terms of pageantry, you're showcasing yourself. You yourself is a work of art. You're a work of art, and you're showcasing everything that's in you and within you. And by virtue of the designer is because you keep showcasing the attires that they're made for you, and you have to look the part for you to be able to showcase what the designer was picturing. So yeah, modeling is an art.
Everywhere, GBS.
Welcome back to the bulletin. Now moving forward, Cardinal Pizzaballa departs a general congregation meeting ahead of the conclave to elect the next pope, as seen from Rome. Two cardinals, one from Spain and one from Kenya, will not be joining the conclave for health reasons. All of the 133 cardinals expected to take part in the secret conclave to elect a new pope have arrived in Rome, with the race to succeed Pope Francis seen as wide open. Here's more on that report.
The conclave will start behind the closed wooden doors of Sistine Chapel on Wednesday afternoon, with all cardinals aged under 80 years entitled to take part in choosing a successor of Pope Francis, who died last month. Some cardinals are looking for a new pope who will continue with Francis' push for a more transparent, welcoming church, while others are seeking retrenchment of more traditional roots that put a premium on the doctrine. The conclave are often spread over several days, with multiple votes held before a contender wins the necessary three-quarter majority to become the pope. The world's Catholic cardinals have been meeting on a near-daily basis since the day after Pope Francis' death on the April of 21st to discuss the state of the 1.4 billion member church, with the number of participating clerics gradually swelling. The Vatican said 180 cardinals, including 132 electors, took part in a meeting on Monday morning. The 133rd electors is also in Rome, but did not take part in the discussions. Two cardinals, one from Spain and one from Kenya, will not be joining the conclave for health reasons, a possible reference to split over Francis' decision to allow blessings for same-sex partners and to open discussions about the role of the women in the church. Cardinals also talked about the profile of the future pope, who must be present, close, capable of being a bridge and a guide, a shepherd close to the real life of the people.
così Dio mi aiuti in questi santi evangeli che tocco con la mia mano.
While there are few cardinals seen as potential front-runners to succeed Francis, two often mentioned are Italian Cardinal Pietro Parolin and Filipino Cardinal Luis Antonio.
Non parlerete tra di voi circa le operazioni di elezioni.
Many of the voting clerics have not yet made up their mind. The two Vatican guest houses will house the cardinals during the conclave, when they will be barred from contact with the outside world. The German Cardinal Walter Kasper, who is 92 years and cannot take part in the voting, said that he was sure that the electors would choose someone to Pope Francis' progressive agenda.
We'll keep him updated as that story develops now. Tensions flared in The Hague on Monday as pro-Sudan demonstrators rallied outside the International Court of Justice following a controversial ruling. The ICJ dismissed Sudan's genocide case against the United Arab Emirates, stating it lacked jurisdiction to hear the claims. Sudan had accused the UAE of supplying weapons and logistical support to the Rapid Support Forces, a paramilitary group at the heart of Sudan's devastating civil war. The court's decision sparked immediate backlash from protesters who say the international community is failing to act amid growing atrocities and displacement within Sudan.
International Court of Justice, protesting what they described as a major blow to justice for the Sudanese people. The protesters, holding signs and chanting slogans, expressed deep frustrations after the International Court of Justice dismissed Sudan's genocide case against the United Arab Emirates.
We are looking for justice. So justice will never stop in one place. We go further and we will always
paramilitary Rapid Support Forces in Sudan war, a conflict that has killed an estimated 150,000 people and displaced over
We apologize for the technical hitch now. In an emotional farewell, Trent Alexander-Arnold has confirmed his imminent departure from Liverpool, sending shockwaves through the football world. The England right back, who joined the club at just 6 years old and has since won every major honor, revealed his decision on social media, admitting it was easily the hardest decision I've ever made. Though he didn't specify his next destination, Alexander-Arnold is widely expected to join Real Madrid on a free transfer, just days after helping Liverpool secure the second Premier League title and reach a milestone of 20 top-flight English championships. Now on to the previous story about the Sudan's genocide case in the ICJ. Tensions flared in The Hague on Monday as pro-Sudan demonstrators rallied outside the International Court of Justice following a controversial ruling. The ICJ dismissed Sudan's genocide case against the United Arab Emirates, stating it lacked jurisdiction to hear the claims. Sudan had accused the UAE of supplying weapons and logistical support to the Rapid Support Forces, a paramilitary group at the heart of Sudan's devastating civil war. The court's decision sparked immediate backlash from protesters who say the international community is failing to act amid growing atrocities and displacement within Sudan.
Pro-Sudan demonstrators rallied outside the International Court of Justice, protesting what they described as a major blow to justice for the Sudanese people. The protesters, holding signs and chanting slogans, expressed deep frustrations after the International Court of Justice dismissed Sudan's genocide case against the United Arab Emirates.
We are looking for justice. So justice will never stop in one place. We go further and we will always be looking for our justice. So what's happening today, this is not the end of the game. We're going further.
The demonstrators accused the United Arab Emirates of aiding the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces in Sudan's ongoing civil war, a conflict that has killed an estimated 150,000 people and displaced over 14 million. The international
We apologize for that technical hitch, and that's all we had for today here at the Ambassador, where we debunk global diplomacy and geopolitics. We'll bring you more updates as they unfold. Remember, this is the Ambassador, where we debunk global diplomacy and geopolitics. I have been your Ambassador, Susan Nganga. Have a good afternoon.
Everywhere, GBS.